Secondary burden test. In this test, the burden connected to the CVT secondary is measured. In this test, by injecting AC current and measuring the AC voltage by binary analog input and dividing voltage by current Z and its angle, and consequently R and X values are obtained. To do this test, after going to state settings section, the current and time of the test must be entered in iTest and state time fields respectively. The current limitation specified for this field is 32 amperes. After entering the state setting information, the wiring must be done in accordance with the instructions picture. It should be noted that by double-clicking on the picture, it is possible to magnify it. To perform its test, in the first step, the CVT must be separated from all elements that are used for transferring voltage to measurement devices. In this wiring, jumper IA1 and IB1 current outputs and connect IA2 and IB2 to the CVT voltage transmission path. Also, to measure the AC voltage, binary analog input 1 must be connected to the test path a little further from the current injection connectors. This should be noted that before performing the test, it is necessary to press Init Test so that the device is automatically configured. By selecting this option, the setting including current and test time, as well as hardware settings related to hardware configuration, including the outputs of the device and binary analog inputs, are adjusted by the device automatically. In Analog Output tab in Hardware Configuration section, we can see that the wiring of the device is set at 32 ampere with the maximum burden of 400 volts ampere, and the binary analog input 1 is activated for voltage measurement. To better analyze the test, Table View, Detail View, and Signal View windows can be used. After opening Table View window, you can see that a state with the 50 Hz frequency and in accordance with the entered information state settings section is created. If you wish to view the information more thoroughly, use Detail View window instead, performing the test and analyzing the results. After adjusting the wiring, here 5 amperes and 5 seconds are entered as test current and test time respectively, and after pressing Init Test, the test starts. In Signal View, it is possible to view the waveform of actual and the voltage measured by binary analog input. Also, in Signal View, by using the waveforms of actual and the voltage recorded in Signal View, it is possible to examine the connection of the connectors. In Results section, the user can view the results after the test is finished. The results include I injection, the amount of injected current, V measured, the measured voltage, impedance angle, and finally the values of R and X are displayed using the Z cosine phi and Z sine phi relations respectively. In actual burden field, the amount of burden that the CT secondary can supply in the nominal current is calculated, and the result is entered in this field by the software. In the end, after the test is finished, it is necessary to add the test results to the report, which in equipment test is done by pressing Add to Report. Also, if you wish to add certain parts of the evaluation to the report or to edit the report, use Add to Report cog. By clicking on this cog, the elements that can be added to the report are displayed by checked checkboxes, and you can uncheck any undesired elements. Note that after any test, the results are not automatically added to the report, and it's necessary to add the results of the performed test to the output report by pressing Add to Report before clearing the test. It should be also noted that if the burden of the test is low and the user wishes to have more accurate measurement, or binary analog input 1 is damaged, it's necessary to charge the specified binary input. To do this, after pressing Init Test and checking Don't Change Hardware Setting option, the user must enter Hardware Configuration window and specify a new input in Binary Analog Input tab. Here, as an example, input 10 is selected, and after adjusting the necessary settings, the test is performed and the results are viewed. If you wish to select a binary between binaries 1 to 8, you have to enter the binary input target in accordance with the default binary number. For example, to use input 7, binary 1 must be selected as the binary input target. For this, it is suggested to right-click on input 1 row and cut the information and paste it in the intended row. To change the current wiring, it should be noted that the output target of the selected wiring must be IL1. Two more notable points in performing the test are that first, error other in a test indicates that there is a problem in the connection of wirings of the current path or resistance is too high that the device is unable to provide the burden needed for current injection. Therefore, in cases of facing this error, you can go to Signal View and examine the actual value of the current. If the current is injected by the device, but its difference with the specified current is high, this means that the path resistance is high, and if the actual current is zero, it means that the current injection path is open. Where the path resistance is high, the test current must be decreased, and in case of a zero actual current, the connection of connectors needs to be examined. The second point is that the voltage measured by the inputs of the device needs to have similar cycles. If the measured values have too big tolerances or they are zero, it means that the connectors are not correctly connected.